Hi, seventh graders. Miss Chris here. I'm going to explain the Bill of Rights and Me handout, which will be used to help you create your fictional world for this unit coming up. So go ahead and go to Google Classroom and click on the assignment Bill of Rights and Me. This will pop up here. So let's quickly go over the directions. You want to pick three of the amendments in the Bill of Rights that are most important to you. You're going to explain why they're important and imagine what would happen or what would the world be like if they were gone. Fill in the chart to prepare for our writing activity next week. Now, because you're seventh graders and you're growing up real fast, we want you to make sure that you're not using filler words like bad, good stuff, or things. So instead, be really specific, give examples, and explain why something would be bad or terrible. Think about the consequences, and let's do an example together. So, an amendment that is important to me would be the First Amendment. I'm going to be writing about specifically, because there's so many parts of the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. Why is this important to me? Well, I think that people really need the opportunity to share their ideas, even if they're not popular. So let's make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. I also think that the newspapers should have the freedom to say what they need to say without government control, and that people should be able to protest, which is part of the First Amendment. So that's the first and second column. The third column, what if this right were taken away? What would happen to your community? What would the consequences be? And we're going to give at least three ideas or examples. So the first idea that I think that it would affect myself, because I wouldn't feel like I would be able to talk about the problems in our community or criticize the government. And if I did that in my world, like I think that maybe I would go to jail, which sounds kind of scary. So that would be a consequence. The second would be the way that it affects newspapers. So the Star Tribune, which is the local newspaper in Minneapolis, wouldn't be able to report all the news, just the news that the government or other people in power see as fit. And the third example I have is that people wouldn't be able to protest. So freedom of speech and freedom of assembly are two parts of the First Amendment. And so, for example, all of the uprisings and the protests that happened after George Floyd was murdered would not have been able to take place, and people would be arrested. And in reality, some of those things are actually already happening. But in this world, it would be to a much greater extent. So that's my example of filling out these three columns. In the last right column, make sure that you give at least three solid examples, and you're really trying to push yourself and so you can help prepare to build your world. So have a great day, have fun with this, and I look forward to hearing all of the wonderful ideas that you have in this speculative world. All right, bye.